Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well today. I'm excited to be back with you here for another Facebook Live. I'm going to talk a little bit more about school and show you what it looks like inside a little bit. Give you kind of a sneak preview. So I'm just here doing my DJ thing, trying to fill some dead air while I wait for some people to jump on. I have to say, I love this shirt in real life. I'm not digging it on camera, so I know we're not here to talk about my horrible fashion follies, but just have to put that out there. It's one of those things that when something's on your mind, you know, it's like, it just helps to just kind of say it. Oh, now we can move past that. We've addressed it. I remember going to a conference type thing once, and the woman had a stain on her shirt, and she did that. She got up and she said, okay, so walking out here, I noticed I have a huge stain on my shirt. I just want you all to look at it right now so I cannot think about it. And I thought, yeah, I can see why that would work. That makes sense. Hi, Michelle, Amanda, Irina, Melissa. Great to see you guys. I'm excited to get to show you a little bit of the inside of the school. I have to give a shout out to my husband who takes the iPad to his kind of work type thing that he does now, and he's doing all of his work today on his phone, so he could leave me the iPad. I need the iPad. I was going to go use our neighbor's iPad. I'm like, I have to have the iPad to show them on the Facebook Live the inside of the school. So he's like, oh, I'll just do my work on my phone. And I don't know. He's a big guy. He has big fingers. I guess it's hard to type on iPhones. I don't know. I think it's easy, but. Oh, thank you, Charlotte. It looks lovely to me. Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. It's better in person. Thank you, though. So, yeah. So let's kind of dive in. I do want to show you a little bit, and I have some questions. Lots of questions came in, and again, if you have questions about the Little School of Big Change, please post them. I'm going to try to maybe interrupt myself and take some questions as they're coming because I tend to lose them. But as you've seen, if I don't get to answer them here, I always go back to the comments and address every single one of them. So yeah, so go ahead and post them there. Someone who's here live today will win the last of the 3 free spots. We're going to do that drawing tonight. Again, my kids have to do it. I'm going to record it and show the 3 people who won, who they are. So I'll send out a video of that likely tomorrow, and we'll get that done. And if you've already joined the school, because some of you have, since enrollment is open now, and you happen to win, then I'll just give you your money back, and it's all good. So before I show you the school, and hi Barbara, before we get into the details of things, I wanted to just say something that's been on my mind this morning. So what's in the school, like this understanding that I share, hi Jim, it is not a quick fix. It is not, you're not going to come into the school and be given a bunch of strategies, a bunch of formulas, a bunch of, okay, here's what you do, now go do this. You aren't going to get homework. You're not going to like be told what to do in any way, basically. Excuse me, because like I know that's what it feels like we want sometimes. Like when I was really struggling, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've said it, and I know you've all said it in various aspects of your life about various things. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. You know, if someone could just tell me what to do, I'll do it and everything would be fine. And I just want to bring this up because I know it can look like that's the case, you know, like we need someone to tell us what to do. Hi, Audra. Yeah, she says she's already joined and loving it. I'm so happy that you're there, Audra. That's awesome. You know, it can look like we need someone to tell us what to do, and we can make a case for that. Now, you know, when your life is kind of in shambles and you're ruining your health or your finances or your relationships with some habit, yeah, you can make a really good case for saying, no, look at how I'm living life. I need someone to tell me what to do. But you don't need someone else to tell you what to do. You don't need me. You don't need anyone else. No matter what they've been through, what they've seen, They can't tell you what to do. What you need is to quit listening to this garbage in your head. What you need is to listen to yourself for maybe the first time. So there's so much out there that's like just pointing us toward, do this, buy this, use this strategy, eat this, drink this, everything. And it kills me to see wise people, and that's all of us. We all are wise. Listening to that, like not listening to yourself, but throwing it all away, throwing all your power over to someone else who's going to tell you what to do. Hi, Joanne. Like, that's just not where it is. Like, we're too smart for that, you guys. We're way too smart for that, and we're too wise for that. We all have too much common sense. Like, how could it be the human design that some of us come equipped with a lot of common sense, knowing what to do to have a functional life, and others of us don't? It's not the case. We all come equipped with that. We all have everything we need. You, in your common sense, in your wisdom, are going to help you see through whatever you're struggling with. And that goes for whatever it is at any point in your life. That's just the way it works. So no one else can do this for you. No one else can give you something that you don't already have. It just isn't going to work that way. And so when we're asking, like, how, those how, or like, what do I do kinds of questions, so understandable. I get it. But that's just notice, and please notice this with as much compassion as you can possibly have for yourself, that's us in our confused thinking, saying, oh my gosh, I'm messing up, I'm in so much pain, I'm so lost, I don't know what I'm doing here. How do I do it? What do I do? How do I do it? What do I do? And we're looking and we're grabbing, and if no one's telling us answers we're satisfied with, then we're just, shoving food or drink or stuff or Facebook or whatever it might be into us to just calm all that down. But it isn't that we actually need any of that. We don't need the strategy. We don't need the stuff we're trying to comfort ourselves with. We have it in there. It's just seeing how we work. It's just seeing, okay, when I'm feeling that way, I can let this calm down and something wiser is going to start to come up. And that might sound vague and it might sound mysterious, but it is so practical and it is so common, and it has happened for every one of us multiple times today even. We just don't know how to recognize it because we're busy looking for someone else to tell us what to do or to help us or to fix us or whatever it might be. So there's nothing that pains me more than to see people saying, well, how do I do this? And how do I see this? And what do I do? And what should I say when this thought comes up? And because I know the hopelessness that's there with that, and that's not the direction. Someone, hi Linda, Ellen, someone just emailed me right before I jumped on here and said, I'm going to join the school, but I'm so scared. I'm going to do it, she said, and we'll see, but she's like, I'm so scared. I'm so scared to fail at another thing. I'm so scared that this is going to be one more thing I try that doesn't work. And I know you've heard me talk about this in many of my videos. I lived in that for years, like tons of hope. Oh, maybe this is it, crush, and that sucks. And no one wants to stay on that roller coaster. It's horrible. So of course you're scared. And of course it looks like you could fail at this, like you failed at other things. But, I just really want you to see that this isn't this, meaning this that I share in the school, this understanding, and I'm not the only one who shares it, and it's not mine. So you can go out and Google all kinds of things that are free. You can go look into the 3 principles. You can read books. You can watch free videos. You can do so many things, and it's not just the 3 principles either. You can look at how our mind works. There's so many people, wise people, that are out there helping others tap into what's already in them. Not selling them some solution or some quick fix, but helping them see through all this garbage that's in our head that's the only obstacle ever to us just naturally kind of living in a nice functional flow in life. So this is not something you can fail at. It just isn't. That's just not what it is. It's simply, and it's not something you do. And like I said, it's not something that you take on and you do a bunch of steps around. It is simply a direction in which to look. And it's a clear direction. And it's a calm direction. And it is a direction that I know will resonate with you as truth because it has for so many people. And it's a direction that is free of all the clutter of do this, buy this, eat that, try this thing, you know, ooh, you failed, ooh, you succeeded, good for you. It's past all that ego garbage, and it's just a place to look. So it's like I think on the last Facebook Live, I talked about just how we get to like the surface of the ocean. You know, it's like we're in the waves and we're trying to solve and we're trying to change this wave and calm this down and do all this stuff. And it's like if we can just drop a little lower, we see so much more clearly. That's what we're doing here, is we're just looking. We're just calming down. Like this is where it's like, how are you going to do it? What are you going to do? What if you fail? Oh my gosh, you failed so many things before. Okay, I can't fix that for you. You can't fix it for yourself, but we can learn to see what that is. It's just a bunch of mind-spinning ego garbage, and we don't need to listen to that. And when you get quiet and you are pointed in a direction, so again, I'm never saying don't do anything. That's such a misunderstanding about this understanding. As people say, oh, well, you don't do anything because we're already fine, right? And that's true. We are already healthy and habit-free, and yes, that's true. So there's nothing to do, so I should just sit back and do nothing. Well, not really. What Sydney Banks actually said is look in a direction and do nothing. And I might have that quote wrong, so please forgive me. Something along those lines, right? Look toward the truth. Look in a clear direction. And when you see clearly, you will see there's nothing to do. When you see that the shadow, the monster in your room is a shadow, there's nothing to do. When you see you've just had a nightmare and you've woken up from it, there's nothing to do. But you have to see that first. So that's what we're doing, is we're helping you see. And you are doing it just by letting your mind get quiet, settling into some truth that's not cluttered and not full of a bunch of garbage, and you just ease into it and see. So there's nothing you can possibly fail at here, and there's also not a lot of stuff you're going to do or be given, but it is true and it feels true to people, and it's deep, and it helps in so many ways. So let me show you the school. Get past our child-proof iPad codes, so no kids can play video games all the time. All right. Oh no, sorry. So, so exciting. And you know, the school's been open since June, but I still get so giddy looking at it. Bonnie Jarvis created this. She did all the technology for it, and we worked together, obviously. But what I love about this so much, oh, come on, sorry, is that it's so simple and clean. And, you know, again, it doesn't make sense. I'm telling you, let's like get on all this garbage that's floating around in our heads all the time and sink deeper and just get quiet and let a bigger truth guide us. And that's exactly what happens. So there's no way I was going to let this be some cluttered website with lots of stuff and things all over. Even the content, I mean, I wanted really, really solid content, and that's what's here. It's the absolute best of anything I've ever created or that I've even seen created. I mean, it's like there are so many great videos and webinars and lessons and books and things out there, and this is me immersing myself in that for years and boiling it down in a way that I see that's all in one place. So again, I never ever want to discourage people, especially if it isn't within your means financially. You know, don't push yourself to do something. There's so much wonderful free content out there, but this is everything in one place with a community attached, and it's awesome. So when you log into the school, and by the way, you can access the school on your computer, you can access it on an iPad, you can access it on a phone. It's really like mobilely responsive. So it's really easy to kind of get everywhere. We don't have an app, but I looked into an app, and the app developer basically said, you don't need an app. You have a totally mobilely responsive site, so why spend the extra money on an app? So there's no app, but because we don't need one. So you're not going to be able to see this all that well here, but see if I can get my lighting right. So you log into the school, and when you first enroll, you instantly get access. So you get all your login information, and you just jump right in. There's a orientation video, which you'll watch first on this first screen. All the lessons in the school are short too, so I really tried hard to make that the case. The lighting's really bad here. So all of the lessons, especially the ones with me, I tried to keep under like 10, 12 minutes because, you know, I've already been talking for 15 here, and I could go on and on forever. But they're short, they're succinct. There are longer conversations with Dr. Bill Pettit, with Dr. Joe Bailey, and with Michael Neal. And those conversations are about an hour, so there's some longer content. But everything, the core of the lessons, short, 10, 12 minutes or so. There's animations, there's quotes, which I'm going to show you all in a minute. So you would first jump in here and go watch the orientation video. And everything in here walks you right through it. So you have to go in the order that we've kind of set it out. Sorry, my lighting's bad. I know it's not showing up on the screen very well. You have to go through it all in the order in which it's presented. That kind of sucks. You guys can't even see it. But it's self-paced. So you take your time. You have access to this for life. All the content you have access to forever. So once you've gone through the orientation video, there's a first day of school video that, again, just kind of starts to set things up. And then you go through the core curriculum, and you go through lesson by lesson. And so if you were to jump in here, let's say in lesson 1, and I know there's kind of a glare. It's not the easiest to see today for some reason. See if I can play with my lighting a little bit and make it any better. So you'll go in, and there's a video that pops out. You just click on that video. I jump out at you, or it's not always me. Other people will jump out at you. You take in the video. Down here, you get to leave an insight. So many people that have already been through the school, there's screens of insights. And what's really cool about that is that once you just sit and take this video in, and you just kind of let it linger with you, we're not asking here for questions. We're not asking for what you agree with, what don't you agree with. I just want to know what you've heard. What's an insight that you've had, that you've heard something new that showed up for you in this. And what's really cool is there have been, I don't know, a lot of people now who have gone through these lessons, and they've left their insights. And people say, do what you want with them. Maybe it doesn't feel good to read them. Maybe you just want to kind of keep it personal the first time through. But a lot of people do say that they scroll through these insights after they've posted their own, and they see so much more. They see what other people have seen in this that maybe they didn't get that angle. So it's a really cool thing. And again, I apologize for the glare. Poor husband's like trying to get his big fingers to work on the iPhone, and just didn't work out as well as I hoped it would. But anyway, you leave an insight, and you just get paced through all of these lessons. If you're in the community, which I most highly recommend because it's really awesome, there's a forum there. People are on the forum all the time. I'm on the forum helping people, answering questions, giving personal coaching. Amanda, who was here on the Facebook Live, I think she had to drop off. She's in the forum. She's a coach as well. She's found freedom from a 23-year eating disorder. She knows this understanding really, really well and really lives it. And so we're in there together supporting people, and we're in there all the time. Like every free minute I have, if I'm not with a client, I'm checking in, I'm talking to people on the forum. She's doing the same. And it's just a really, really great place. And for those of you who are just joining now, again, people have been in the school since June. So don't overwhelm yourself, but there's so much there. There's so much content. There are forum conversations since June that in your own time, you can go back and you can search topics and you can look things up. And you just know that as you're taking all this in, as you're looking in this really clear direction that's not cluttered, if your mind starts cluttering it, which, it might, you just hop on the forum. You just ask for clarification. You ask a question. You share another insight you've had or share an experience. And the coolest thing is just being able to know that that's available to you, and that people are going to be right there to reach back out and to be in a community and have this conversation with you. And you see other people in that too. So I just love the way the community has just naturally kind of come together, gotten to know each other, supported each other in the last few months. And I'm so thrilled, even the people that are in already, that they've already started to kind of fold into this community, check things out. The older members are welcoming them, and we're just, day into this. So it's just a really, really awesome thing that happens. In addition to the forum, there's something called a doctorate lounge for the people in the community at the doctorate level. And that's where I share whatever occurs to me to share. So every once in a while, I will create a video. A lot of times it might be like, a conversation we're having on the forum. I kind of see some threads and I want to expand on it. So I'll make a video and I'll put it in the Doctorate Lounge for you guys. Or I will have a conversation with one of my colleagues or mentors. That'll go in the Doctorate Lounge. So it's all extra stuff that kind of aids in your understanding and helping you see this stuff deeper. Really based on whatever's going on for you guys at the time. And then in the community as well, in addition to the forum and the Doctorate Lounge, we have our twice monthly calls, and they're just really amazing. I don't know, I live for these calls. They're every other Tuesday, and we just get together and really just kind of share what's on our mind. You have every opportunity for coaching. So I will never hang up on one of these calls unless, if you still have a question or if something's not right with you. And it is so beneficial to hear other people's questions and to see other people get coached through their issues, because that's really where it is. So let's say you have, some habit that you're trying to break, or let's say you have some anxiety that you wish you didn't have. It looks how it looks to you, right? You're in your head, it's big, it's real, it's like, you're not seeing it clearly. If you were, you wouldn't really have the issue. So to see someone else with anxiety or something completely different come in and ask a question, well, you're not living their anxiety, you're only living your own. You're not living their habit, you're living your own stuff. So in them, you see it more clearly. You see it differently. And I can't stress that enough. It's a funny thing, but I mean, that is where so many insights happen and so much freedom happens, is not even when we're personally addressed, because we're all in our heads at that point. It's watching other people get support, watching other people get helped, and just seeing how Amanda and I relate to them. And then it starts to click for you, like, oh yeah, if that's true for them, that's true for me too. So it's a really awesome thing. Dorothy's on, and she's in the school already. She says it's fun and easy to navigate. That's awesome. Hi, Lauren. I recognize your name, Lauren, from lots of things. So yeah, so if you guys have questions, I have a few questions that have been really common questions that have been coming up that I just want to kind of touch on here. But if you do have questions about anything about the school, feel free to post them, and I'll go ahead and answer them now. But one of the questions that was emailed to me a lot since Thursday's Facebook Live was how the school is different from my other courses, or from other courses that are out there. And it's really different. It's different in a lot of ways. So let me tell you how it's similar. So a lot of you have my the companion course that goes along with A Little Book, A Big Change, or other video courses I've done. It's similar in that it's me. It's similar in that I'm pointing to the same truths. That never changes, right? We're looking in the same direction. But the school is very, very different from any of those other kind of standalone courses. One, in that it's really deep. Again, I spent so long, some of you know, I didn't take clients last year from January till April-ish. I just worked on this school. And it's from start to finish. It's like it starts with a very gentle kind of introduction to this understanding, and it takes you deep. By the end of the advanced curriculum, we're no longer looking at habits, because you kind of see that more clearly. Now we're on to much bigger things. So it's very complete. It's very deep. Whereas, the companion course, other things, they're a little more topical. They're just about what they're about, or they're focused on what they're focused on. This goes deep. This also gets specific. So there are electives on things like moods and depression, anxiety, eating disorder, binge eating, and relationships. So, and there's more to be added. We're doing one on physical health. We're going to add some more. So it goes deeper into topical things as well, but it's really broad. It's really all-encompassing. And most of all, the community. Again, I cannot say enough about the change that happens. I wish, if it wasn't privileged information, I could read to you some of the emails and texts that I've gotten from people in the community just thanking me. And it's not me. It's not like they're thanking me. It's like, thank God that there's a place to go, that I can see more about this. Thank God that just from this group of people coming together and talking about things, I can't believe how how different life looks, you know, and I didn't expect it to look that different. People saying all the time, I came into this school because I had whatever, fill in the blank, and all these other things have changed, and I just feel more at home in my own life, and I just feel more hopeful about the future and things like that. You know, I mean, that's what I love, and that's what's awesome about it, and that's what's really hard to describe, you know, like when you're not in it. That's the stuff that feels like, oh, I just joined this school and everything changes. You know, I don't know how it's going to go for you, but I know that's the way it's gone for a lot of people. That's the way this whole understanding has gone for me. Is it's like the gift that keeps on giving. You kind of open the door and you start to see things in a new way. Again, we're looking toward clarity and truth and not all this other garbage out here. And it's amazing how that kind of just carries you along. So yeah, it's very different from a lot of my other courses, and those are some of the ways in which it's different. People have asked, let's see, oh, can it take the place of personal coaching? So I don't know. Everyone's different, you know. It absolutely has for a lot of people. It has for a lot of people. So a lot of people who either it was not financially feasible for them to do personal coaching, or for whatever reason they just couldn't, you know, it was harder to fit in their schedule, whatever it was, have joined the school, and they're good. They're like, wow, this is what I was looking for. A lot of people in June reached out to me, and this time as well, saying, so what should I do? I want to work with you. Should I do the private coaching or should I do the school? And I talk to everybody personally and see what works for them. But in a lot of cases, I've said, why don't you try the school? Because I really honestly feel like it's the best of everything. There's an amazing community. And then if you still feel like you need personal support, then we'll do it. But the school's, you know, it's cheaper, it's easier in a lot of ways, and it's awesome. And a lot of those people, some of them have, you know, we've talked personally from time to time, but most of them have just kind of gone with the school and run with it again. So everyone's different. I can't tell you what it's going to be like for you, but it absolutely has taken the place of that. And that's for a lot of people. And that's kind of the point. I absolutely love personal coaching, and I can't imagine ever not doing it. But there's only so many hours in the day, you know, and it's not cheap. You know, so I think if you can join a community, meet people from around the world who are also looking at this, see this more deeply that way, it's kind of a win-win for everyone. And then lots of, another kind of broad question, and then I'll get to a couple of the more specific ones. People have asked, you know, well, will it work for this? Will it work for that? Will it work for this? Yeah, it will. It can. Again, I don't want to make anyone any promises and say, oh my gosh, do this, and this is what's going to happen for you, because I don't know. Because again, it isn't anything I'm doing. It isn't anything that's being done for you. It's what you start to wake up to. But I can tell you with absolute certainty that as people start to wake up to how our mind really works, and they start to see more clearly, and all that clutter and confusion in their own head starts to die down, things get easy. And there's no need for habits. There's no need to go drink a bunch, eat a bunch, buy a bunch, do all the stuff that kind of distracts us from life when life's looking pretty easy and pretty good, and when you're tapped into something bigger. And it's kind of that simple, you know, it really is. It's like, let's look in this clear direction, and everything tends to improve and just do better overall. So it absolutely can help with anything, and it does. I've seen it help with lots and lots of different things. So I want to address a question before I get to, there's a couple of specific ones people have sent me, but Melissa asks on here, I'm afraid I'll drift in the school because I'm already watching a lot of content, but I can't see how I'm going to directly apply this into breaking my habits. Yeah, no, I totally hear you. And that's, again, I don't know, like for some people, and sometimes they really benefit from personal one-on-one support, and that might be the case for you, Melissa, but at the same time, it's very different to be out Googling things and watching things in your own home and letting your mind spin. I mean, again, I got most of my understanding of this by watching things at home. So it can be amazing for people. But it's also like you're kind of isolated, you know, you're just taking it in your own way. And our mind is really good at coming up with exceptions and saying this isn't enough or whatever. So that's the point of the school, is it's the best of both worlds, or it's designed to be anyway, where it gives you that content. It gives you stuff that you can do from your home on the other side of the globe, which is the case for you, Melissa. You know, you can sit home and do this in your own time, and you're not doing it alone. You're paced through something that's put in a specific order and tested to be effective. We had beta testers, and we've had 150 people in the school just since June, not counting the new people now. And people are getting results. So it's been tested. It's not like just randomly seeing video. You know, it's different in that way. It goes in order. It walks you through it. It helps you. And there's a community there. So it's like if there's any minute where you're saying, I don't get it, or, you know, I'm spinning, or I don't have any focus, you reach out. So you're not alone at all. So that's the point. Again, everyone's going to take it and do whatever they do with it and kind of take it in their own way. But that's my vision for this. That's the whole point, is that you get the best of both of those worlds. You get to watch content. It's very affordable, extremely affordable for what you're getting. And you're not alone in it, because you have personal support from myself and Amanda, and there's a community there, large, amazing community that has your back all the time. Michelle asks, awesome, I'm glad that was helpful, Melissa. Michelle asked, what does each lesson consist of? Let me read you. So each lesson is, again, it kind of builds kind of builds into a nice story. Let me see if I can get into this without having to log in, because that might not. Okay, cool. So I just want to read you the names of some of the lessons. So like that might just kind of give you a feel for what's going on here. And I'd like to name things in names that aren't boring. So I don't know if this is really going to help. But so like lesson in the core curriculum, which is just kind of the main part that everyone goes through. Lesson 1 is a simple misunderstanding. So you start to see how all of our habits, issues, struggles, suffering in life comes from a simple misunderstanding. It doesn't come from us being broken. It doesn't come from us having a mental disorder. It doesn't come from anything being wrong. It comes from a simple misunderstanding. Tanisha, Amanda is Amanda Jones, and she's a coach that works with me. So I'm just trying to answer some of these as they come through. She's really good. She's on the forum. I lead the group calls. She's there helping out a lot, and she's on the forum a lot, kind of helping people. But I'm there too. Like, there's nothing on the forum that's been posted since we opened last June that I haven't read. So it's just like whoever gets to it first supports you. So yeah, lesson 1 is a simple misunderstanding. It goes into the iceberg model of change, which some of you know from the webinars that I've done, that kind of shows how the way we're used to going about change is the reason change doesn't work so well for us. It's innocent. It's an innocent misunderstanding. But when we start going from change from the bottom up, where we have a sea change and life looks different rather than us just working harder trying to beat ourselves into change, then everything, flips on its head. And that's when change starts happening really quickly for people. Lesson 3 is hearing beyond what you think you know, which is a really good one about letting our ego and mind that says, this is hard, I don't get it, how is this going to work for me, how am I doing? It's like starting to let that stuff fall away, because that's not helping you, and listening for something bigger. And that's hugely important lesson right there. Lesson 4 is who you really are. Just the minor topic of like who we truly are, not who we think we are. There's an animation in there. See, there's all kinds of quotes, poetry, animations, kind of stuff. And again, it's not just thrown together. It's really kind of building into a cool understanding that adds on each other, adds on the thing before. Lesson 5 is called the dinged up dinner plate. Again, I told you, I can't like be really stuffy about this stuff, because it's not stuffy stuff. It's serious. It's big. It's like, who you really are, what's really true in life, how every human being operates, but we can have fun with it too. And the more fun and the more, the less serious it is, the more you're going to see. So I'm not saying this is like a, comedy show, but it's not stuffy. I did my absolute best to try to keep it light and bring in props and bring in metaphors and stories and make it really interesting and entertaining. Lesson 6 is who you think you are. So we had who you really are, and that was the misunderstanding. Here's who you think you are. Lesson 7 is the machinery. You can probably guess what kind of machine we're talking about. There's sliding into home base, inside out, surprising intelligence and emotion, the wisdom of habits. Our habits are a solution, not a problem. So this describes that. There's a conversation with Dr. Bill Pettit, and that's just in the core curriculum. So again, the advanced curriculum is my absolute favorite. I love all of it, but the advanced is where it gets really good. The core curriculum really starts to walk you through a deep, basic feel for this, and is really geared more on habits and our issues and why we get stuck in these things and how we can start to feel freedom from them. The advanced curriculum is where it gets into like, okay, let's get into even bigger. Like, how far can we take this? It's really fun. This is where it gets good. So these won't make as much sense, again, because they're a little deeper and you have to go through it to see it. But we have the rushing river. It doesn't matter as much as you think. Setbacks aren't setbacks. There's a conversation with Joe Bailey. Wait for the miracle. It's a good one. And what is changing versus what never changes. And the last lesson is called Wisdom Takes You by the Hand. And then we have some more, again, animations, conversation with Michael Neal. Some awesome stuff in here. I love this. I still love it. I get so excited just seeing that. It was a lot of work. And it was awesome. It was like a cool, I don't know, evolution for me, I guess. A big growth experience for me to just put this in one place and create it and to see people benefit from it. So, some of the last questions I had are more tactical ones. And again, if you have questions, things are coming up for you, feel free to put them here. Hi, Amy. So glad you've received benefits from the book and want to take to school. That's awesome. Yeah, it is a great just way to go deeper. And that's another question, kind of on these lines that people have asked, like how is it different from other courses? And again, in a lot of ways, I mean, there's only one truth. There's only one direction to look in, but there's a lot of depth with which we can see that. It's like you kind of get it and you feel some freedom, and it's like, oh, I'm not all my thinking. I'm not this. I'm something else, and my dinner plate isn't dinged up, and all the stuff you start to see, and that's awesome. But you can see that, and then you can see that, and that's like a continuing journey. That's why those of us, like my mentors that have been in this conversation, looking in this direction toward these things for 40 years, they're still seeing things constantly. You never get to the end of this. And that's what I just love about it so much. It's really rich and really awesome in that way. So some of the more tactical questions, and again, if you have more, feel free to put them here. We're just about the enrollment period. So it opened this morning, and it will run for a week. So you can join until midnight next Monday. I know from past experience that everyone waits until next Monday. There's no reason. Don't do that to me. And don't do that to yourself. Get in now. You get instant access. As soon as you enroll, you get everything you need, and you can start right away. And we actually have a group call tomorrow. So those of you, and think about this, that's a good perk there. Those of you who join today or tomorrow morning before our group call tomorrow afternoon, you get to be on that call tomorrow. And you get, if you can't join live, all the calls are recorded. So you can technically join till next Monday at midnight, but do us all a favor and join early if you know that you want to join. And send me your questions. I mean, again, I'm taking clients these days, but I'm blocking off chunks of time so I can just sit at my email, and that's what I've been doing. It's just answering questions that people come in, and I love doing that. I'm happy to do it. So if you have questions about anything, feel free to send them, not just here, but to my email as well. So ask me when the next enrollment period is also. So we're going to close on the 30th at midnight Eastern time. And I don't know when the next enrollment period is. I never do. I didn't know last time either. It's kind of what I do. I just kind of let things show up and see how things go. I can tell you it's not going to happen this year, so it would be sometime in 2018. I would venture a guess at March-ish, but I just don't know. So it's not a, I'm not trying to hold out. I just don't know. I don't know until I know. But sometime likely maybe, winter, early spring next year is going to be the next chance to get in. People have asked about the prices. You can go to thelittleschoolofbigchange.com, and now, it used to be a waitlist page. Now, since the card is open and we're full on enrolling, you can see all the information there. So it'll show you for each of the levels in the school exactly what you get and exactly what the price is. It ranges from $149. Super, I can't even believe it's $149 for all the work I put into this. And for the benefit people are getting. I mean, so I just wanted to keep at least that initial level super affordable for anyone. And I know it's not for everyone. I mean, there's no way to do it that makes everyone happy, but that's the best I could come up with. It's like, man, if you want to start looking in this direction and you are really, really on a tight budget, that's the best we've come up with. So for $149, you get the core curriculum. It's $299 for the core curriculum plus the advanced curriculum plus all of the electives. So all of the content that we just kind of looked at and then I talked you through, plus some that I didn't talk about, that you have lifetime access to is $299. So it's a fraction of what personal coaching would cost. And the community, which is the best part, of course, is $39 a month. So for $39 a month, you get 2 calls, you get 24/7 time on the forum, you get all kinds of bonuses that I put in the Doctorate Lounge, lots of personal support. And that is, there's no commitment there. So it's like you sign up, you become part of the community. If at any point, we have an option now that Bonnie worked really hard to put into place, because a couple people from last time, they joined in June, and then as fall was approaching, they were traveling or they had different things going on, and they knew they just weren't going to have the time to devote, but they didn't want to cancel their membership. We have a pausing option, so you can pause your membership at any point. You can cancel it at any point. Very easy. There's no commitment, no issues. Just stay in it for as long as it's helpful. And like I think I've said on here before, I'm so happy. I tell my husband this all the time. It just warms my heart so much that almost no one has left since June. It's like people are finding value in it. But it's totally up to you. Like you're not committed in any way, so you just do what works for you. What else? That's all I had on my list of questions that had been sent. So yeah, if you guys have any more questions, post them here. I'll go through and answer all the questions and comments that are here. And again, tonight we'll be doing the drawing, giving away 3 free spots. So I'll put out a video or let you know somehow if you won about that tomorrow. And yeah, again, any questions, reservations, like thoughts, worries, concerns, like the wonderful woman that emailed me that I mentioned right before here that said, I'm doing it, but I'm so scared. Like, just reach out. I love to talk to you. I love to kind of help people see through some of that stuff as much as I can. So don't hesitate. And yeah, I'm really, really excited about those of you who are in the school already. Love seeing you there. Love seeing your names pop up when I've seen you in various places and knowing that I'm going to get to know you so much better as we go through this journey together. And I'd love to see all of you there. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for listening. So we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.